In this final episode with my guest, Dr. Shivani Gupta, she discusses the importance of Ayurveda in managing inflammation, improving sleep, and promoting overall health. So we already talked about in the previous episode about all the different herbs and spices in Ayurveda. And in this episode, the emphasis is the role of circadian rhythm, sleep, detoxifying the body, the brain, the lymphatic system, and preventing all this buildup. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Real quick, is losing weight after 40 while still enjoying your social life a challenge? Well, you're not alone, because that's pretty much everybody. On the Over 40 Fitness Hacks podcast, I share insights from my 15 plus years as a personal trainer and gym owner, helping people like you strike the right balance. For those ready to take action, please sign up for my online personal training program on my website or through the link in the show notes. Together, we'll design a plan that fits your lifestyle and helps you achieve your goals without sacrificing the fun. And remember, everyone is different. We will find a program that works. Well, Dr. Shivani, let's move on to our next topic. I think it was going to be a plethora of inflammation, circadian rhythm, detoxing the body. What are your thoughts on that, or how does Ayurveda practice push for that?
So what's cool is Ayurveda teaches us this entire preventive lifestyle that when we apply it to ourselves, inherently helps us reduce inflammation. And that's what I find so cool. I'm writing a whole book for Hay House on inflammation and Ayurveda. And so chapter by chapter, all I've done is immerse myself in this topic all year. So I look at it as number one, there is a concept called circadian rhythm, chronobiology. This area of science is exploding right now. So if you just Google circadian rhythm, that comes from Ayurveda. And basically what Ayurveda was saying was, we are from nature and nature is us. And so if we can just live in rhythm with nature, then instead of fighting uphill and swimming uphill all our lives, we'll flow downstream with life. We'll go with ease and flow. And so waking up with the sun, falling asleep close to when the sun sets or soon after, not pushing our bedtime way past 10 o'clock. These are all concepts from circadian rhythm, not allowing blue light to hit our eyes, really honoring sleep as the most important thing that we do for our health can be very important. So I teach a lot about sleep because a lot of us who love to exercise and work out, I love my leg days, I love to lift. Fitness has always been an important key piece of my life. I know that if I don't recover, I don't get to have those gains. We think we build the muscle in the gym. Yeah, we start the process, but we have to repair in the night. And so I teach people sleep from 10 to 2 on the clock, on the circadian clock. 10 to 2 is what we call pitta time of day, or that fiery time of day. And at night, our body's going to leverage that portion of the clock to clean, to clear, to detox our bodies. Our brain can collect up to 3 pounds of lymphatic waste throughout the year. We now know that from modern science. So cleaning that out and letting the janitor come out and clean is important. But if we don't let that happen, then all of a sudden we're burdened. We have a toxic burden within us. Lymphatic system is backed up. When you have a lymphatic system and gut health inflamed, backed up, all of a sudden you have a traffic jam, and that's when any little virus can come in and cause a problem. So I really think of circadian rhythm as sleep as the bedrock of good health. Sleep is when we clear inflammation. So sleeping 10 to 2 is key. And then of course your 2 to 6, get the rest of your night's sleep is also important. But what happens is so many of us push our bedtime. We're like, I'll sleep later. I've got one more thing to do. I just need my me time. And I always think when I say that to myself at 10 o'clock, I'm like, I just need me time. I'm like, yeah, go to sleep. That is your me time.
That's your me time. That's the best thing you can do.
Exactly. That's your gift to yourself. Stop saying Instagram is your me time. It's not your me time. It's your garbage time. Don't do that. So I love that Ayurveda taught us that. Another big thing Ayurveda taught us is grounding and moving in nature and breathing in nature. So for me, I wake up and that's it. Hit the road with the kids. Go straight to the gym. So building walks and moving in nature as much as you can. Maybe it's 20 minutes on your lunch break. Maybe it's 10 minutes before work. Maybe it's every time you're going to take a personal call or a work call, you just start walking around the building. That's moving in nature.
Yeah. Does grounding need to be barefoot in soil, or do you still get the benefits from just being in nature?
Just being in nature is great. I think whatever is easy is good. I think, yes, grounding with your feet in the earth is important, but that's hard to get to.
Yeah.
Not all of us are going to make that time in that last step. So for me, as long as we're moving in nature, we've gotten at least more than halfway towards that goal. And then that would be like icing on the cake, putting feet in the grass. But yeah, I think as a society, we're just not moving enough. And that alone is so much of the problem. We're not clearing inflammation. We're not moving the body enough for our lymph to move. We're not moving enough for our gut health to be good.
Well, I talk about that all the time on my show. The over 40 crowd. It's not that we're working out enough. First of all, you should be recovering more and working out less. But the other is move more. We're just sitting on the couch. Movement, just walking is so much more important for overall health. And then you'll get all the things you want, which most people want is weight loss. But it's crazy how did that switch at 40 and doing less effort in the gym world, which is where I did most of my work as a personal trainer. And now more in recovery, worrying about stress, inflammation, all that kind of stuff. Now everything's just like seamless. I'm like over 40 with probably a late 20s body when my 30s was just havoc. So
Yeah. And that's the thing is we take our bodies for granted. We just assume that we have good health. But one of my mentors taught me that it's in our 20s that we have sleepless nights in college. We pull all-nighters. Maybe we have our first heartbreaks. We have so much stress we're under. And we turn on all the light switches of inflammation. Then we move into our 30s. Life changes, more responsibilities, big shifts in our lives, more light switches coming on. And we never turn off those light switches of inflammation. And so that's the problem. That's why we have to, once we're hitting our late 30s and 40s, realize our body is screaming for help. And if we don't address it now, our 50s, 60s, and 70s are going to be horrific. We have to address inflammation as early as we can, because the sooner we turn off those light switches of inflammation, the sooner the body can heal, repair, the sooner the body can do everything it needs to do. Inflammation is like this low-grade forest fire. That's why we call it chronic low-grade persistent inflammation. It is just damaging everything. And we're hearing those little alarms. We're hearing the body say, ouch, something's hurting. For me, sometimes it starts with plantar fasciitis. That's inflammation. Anything ending in itis is inflammation. So if you've got arthritis, gastritis, plantar fasciitis, whatever it is, that just means you have inflammation there. And if you don't heal it fast, if it doesn't just heal and resolve, it's going to turn into this chronic low-grade forest fire that's causing damage. And then we start saying, gosh, I can't remember anything. I can't focus. I don't have the energy. We have a huge list of complaints. But really the best way out of that, to back out of it, in my opinion, is to apply the Ayurvedic lifestyle. So address your gut health, address your sleep, live by the circadian rhythm, eat a diet that's truly nourishing with nutrient variety, nutrient density. And in Ayurveda, we actually teach a lot about how to eat. Don't eat standing. Don't eat driving. Sit down and focus when you eat your meals. Focus on the food you're eating and take a moment, take one deep breath before you eat just to drop into your parasympathetic nervous system. Because otherwise we're in sympathetic. We're just shoving something in our mouths. Brain doesn't even realize it. We're not even tasting it. Gut doesn't even know what to expect. And then we start running and we're not even digesting it properly. Yet we're expecting to get all these gains from the gym and from what we do. And so I think about that a lot because even at work, I'll be like, okay, I heated our lunch in the toaster. It's organic. It's healthy. I brought it from home, even if it's half organic. Like I just try to be as fresh as I can. But if I'm going to eat it while I'm still working, then there's no attention to what that food is going to gift me. And so Ayurveda very much brings that wisdom back into the present time, which so many of us are talking about. So many of us know, like, okay, something has to change. But we don't have a system or an entire lifestyle taught to us like Ayurveda. And then finally, I teach about mind-body constitutions. So in Ayurveda, we have something called the doshas or your constitution. And understanding your constitution from birth can help you understand how to manage your body going forward. So in personal training, you guys sometimes talk about body types, like are you mesomorph, are you ectomorph, and those things. Those different body types correlate with what we in Ayurveda teach as the constitution. And so understanding, like, are you the thin and wiry type? Are you more wind energy? Or are you the fire? Are you in between? Or are you more earth energy, heavier and stronger? Understanding your template can guide how you manage your day and your circadian rhythm, which can give you a completely different result.
Yeah. I had a guest on my show that was very interesting, and what he did was called metabolic. I've never heard in my life. And you just said, and what he put me through was putting people in doshas, and he basically picked me out, told me everything. I'm sure a lot of that's got to be stemmed from Ayurveda and other culture practices. I mean, it's just humanity, right? All this stuff, if people start seeing similarities, and there's a reason for this. It works.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you're most likely a pitta dosha. And it's like, you can look at someone and understand just by talking to them, like, oh, you're this. So your imbalances are probably this. So you need to address them in this way. This is the diet you need to have. I'm a very strong pitta by birth. So I managed my whole life according to that. And once I did that, I was more successful. business went better. I didn't burn out and crash and burn every year. Those things can really shift for us based on our individual constitution.
Yeah. And you know what? For Western culture, we like our technology and being able to, for like inflammation and being able to detox our body. It's something that I can just prick my blood and tell, oh, I'm going to score from 0 to 100 on inflammation. What is it? But we don't have that. There's no way to go into the gut and biopsy it every day to see where you're at. So you
I
have
wish.
to be in tune with how are you feeling? Or do you have your arthritis or
Yeah.
tendinitis going? Is it gone? How's your mindset? That's why I like journaling stuff.
Yeah.
So even if it's once a month, just put on there just a long list of problems and then a long list of what's going good and then seeing what's changed. And then you can associate it with different things you've been doing in your diet and your life.
It's true. It's very true. When you said that, I was like, I wish I could take my iPhone and just photograph my gut
That's it.
and then all of a sudden get an
Tell me.
analysis of what's wrong and then tell me what to do. Because
What?
I literally have to write out prescriptions for myself. I'm like, you know that this is the problem. This is the prescription you would tell your own client.
Yeah.
Do the homework, like
Yeah.
do the plan. Because it's not easy and it has to shift seasonally. Sometimes it has to shift monthly based on where we're at. But that is the nature of being over 40. Unfortunately, I was telling my friend this morning, we were walking before the gym and I said, listen, it takes discipline. It takes consistency. What we're asking of the body is instead of going downhill from here, less energy, less mobility, less movement, less function, we're telling our bodies we want to completely defy aging and go the opposite way. We want to like rocket ship, have more energy, more success, more brilliance, more beauty, more everything. Guess what? That comes with work. So
Yeah.
like, okay. I was like, well, just love your body and choose yourself first and put your self-care first and live this lifestyle, reduce your inflammation and it'll all come together.
Yeah. I don't know if you could ever rocket ship back up. I think it's getting back to a higher baseline and holding it as long as you can.
Hold that racetrack pace.
Yeah. Well, I know at least one part of technology. I've been using this Whoop device.
Nice.
And for sleep, I started seeing my scores are pretty good. They could be better. And I always felt refreshed after 6 hours of sleep. So for the longest time, 6.5 hours, that's what I was doing and woke up, felt refreshed. And then seeing when I first started my Whoop device being like, I'm not on the top tier list. My HRV was a little low. It wasn't giving me a great score. So I was like, all right, let's go through the process. And they wanted me to sleep 9 hours. So I started doing that. I didn't feel much different. Who knows what I associate that for the rest of the day, though. I could be having issues the rest of the day. But since doing that, my HRV started skyrocketing up. It gave me better scores. And then I would start journaling everything. Yeah, certain things in my life were getting a little bit better because of getting more sleep. So it's not just always one moment when you wake up, judge everything by that. No, there's more hours in the day to worry about. So
true. It's your energy throughout the day. It's how you feel at the end of the day. I look at my day in quarters. So as a mother, I'm like, how am I doing that last quarter? That usually tells me how I've managed my energy, my food, my hydration, my workout, and moved. If I haven't done the things for myself, I'm not a nice person in the last slice of the day to the people who matter most. And so that's how I think of my health is like, what am I doing to have sustained energy throughout the day? Where are my breaks that I'm taking? How am I investing in sleep so that I have the energy I want?
yeah,
So that
that's a
we have
good
that
tip. The
quality.
last quarter usually is the roughest. That should be the one you judge everything on. All right.
Exactly.
Cool. Well, Dr. Shivani, thanks for coming on my show once again. If my audience wants to reach out to you, what's the best way?
Sure. So my website is my name, drshivani.com, DRSHIVANI. So all my information's on there. And then my supplements for turmeric and the ashwagandha and things is Fusionary Formulas, FUSIONARY formulas.com. And I made a special code for your audience. It's over the number 40 FIT. So over 40 FIT. We'll give them 15% off at Fusionary.
Awesome. And my audience knows I'll put all links in my show notes so they can just click on it. But yeah, once again, I was so excited that you reached out to me to get someone in the longevity summit that I was watching. And that kind of opened my eyes of all this different stuff. I've never even heard of Ayurveda. And I'm like, man, I've been podcasting and being in this space for 4 years and I still don't know all this stuff. So
yeah, thank you. Well, thanks for having me. It's my dream just to share Ayurveda with the world. So thank you.
absolutely.